Hey friends, Joshman here, up in the tree, up in my tree. Just for, I guess, a couple examples, just wanted to briefly go over in hopes to help someone maybe newer, starting out, or just someone that, just give someone a fun idea for a work positioning lanyard. This is Joshman's ultimate work positioning lanyard. So this, what we have here is nothing, it's by far from a new idea. I have a 2-in-1, essentially an ultimate, a hybrid kind of 2-in-1 system. Over the years, I had always kind of daydreamed over getting the Sterling ultimate positioning lanyard. I'll post an image of it, which is basically Tri-Tech. Consists of Tri-Tech and a couple other like hitch cords and tending to make it 2 devices and 2-in-1 with quite a variety of work positioning. Myself, I already had a 15-foot piece of Tri-Tech that I was using as on my right side next to my saw, and then I would run a 16-foot of just some Yale Blue Moon on the other side and daisy chain the ends in so the tail, it's a single tail daisy chained up to shorten it. But quite often I'd find that both of the tails of both lanyards kind of would get caught into different unions and whatnot as I'm moving through. So I decided, let me try with that 15-foot. I made it into basically into the ultimate positioning lanyard using my hitch climber pulley on the one end, and then I had I think this is the Shizll rope tender. This is what we have right now. So we have 2 independent systems on it on each end of the lanyard. So you're free to kind of utilize each any way you see fit. But I basically had the same setup except for it was a different hitch climber, and I think I tried the Pinto pulley too for a second, and that worked great. 15-foot, actually, you'd be surprised at like up into here in this type of smaller situations, for the bulk of this whole tree, other than like maybe down heading up, like if you're spurring up this tree down at the bottom on the trunk wood, maybe you'd run into issue trying to bypass a limb. So I had already myself had already ran into those issues with that 15-foot chunk of Tri-Tech. I found that it was just a little too short, so then I just went ahead and this is 25 feet of Xstatic we're rocking here. I hope that you can kind of get a halfway decent view of the lanyard itself here. But 25 feet, and I was a little concerned about this being too long, but I knew I needed more. But so far I've been rocking this for a minute now. All I do is daisy chain both in a doubled. Well, you kind of don't have a choice really, but doubled, and then you'd be surprised at how much slack the doubled up like that eats up. And I added a second carrot tool onto my monkey beaver back here, so that's kind of like that's where my daisy chain goes, and then this first one is my fair lead, so to speak, so I can take and run this loop out of here, so it's sort of contained. And you can see actually down here, or I hope you can see down here, this actually hangs down, doesn't hang down as far as what my single 16-foot lanyard did, but I always had it right here on this carrot tool, or a carrot tool, because they break. I don't know how many I've replaced, but I'd have the tail loop clipped in, and then I would have it sort of hanging down, and then just clip in the last daisy chain that was keeping it, so it'd prevent it from slipping out. Then I could real quick pop it off, pull a little bit out, and put it back on to lock it. Same concept with this one. If I need some, just pull out a little, 1 or 2, whatever you need, or the full amount, and kind of pop it back on there to loosen. But really what separates this from the Sterling ultimate positioning is just the fact that we're incorporating a tending device that has the means to for the carabiner for multiple attachment points, so you can use this as a clean DRT, and I have it set up where one is on my side Ds. This is like sort of my secondary, or when I'm getting to the spar work, then obviously I'm using this one. But my primary one is the one that's on the lower Ds, right here. Because I don't know, just finds like the lower Ds, since they support you, kind of share the load between your legs and your hips and your back kind of thing. I found like the lower Ds can handle negative positions and positive positions on sweeping limbs much better than the side Ds can. So that's where my preferred point of attachment is. But I always that Sterling Ultimate Positioning Lanyard didn't offer as it is, like as far as something with the means to connect back to itself. So this is like a cross between the Sterling Ultimate and the CE, or what's now known as the Hipstar Flex, because the CE had I think it was a Pinto with Oceans 8 and then some form of a thimble. And this is a Sterling thimble with an aluminum ring. It's super light. I do probably prefer the Sterling. I used to own the Sterling one with the thimble. I don't know what happened to it, and then I just I replaced it with this. And I think I'd probably recommend you use the thimble. It's a little bit cleaner, but this is lighter though. I will give it that. This is actually, I believe, lighter, and it's lighter than the DMM thimble. But so they're just this way. This is the primary end because I can real quick I can position with my side D, and then this goes to my bridge, wherever the bridge is there. You know, I can kick that over to my bridge for kind of wherever. Find a here. Let's do a. We have a union right behind you, and we're clipped into the union, and so little small DRT or MRS attachment on my bridge to return from goofy situations. I even aid in getting to out to stuff as well, being able to get up in there. And just all around much better work positioning. Even though it's still the same lanyard, I'm now free to make cuts. I'd still be tied in twice because of the bridge, separated bridge attachment, and then the side D. I could even move this down to my lower D if I wanted to, kind of. So I can take this side D situation off and kind of run this carabiner all the way to the end. Here he'll showcase that. Okay, here another hopefully a decent view of our bridge attachment. I don't know why I went to the top. I usually go to the middle one because it separates that out just a hair more, but it's clean. It's very clean. And then so here I'm above my tie-in point actually a little bit, so like I could be advancing it right now, whatever, get up here to advance it, and then really let's take and go like we are gonna. But here, aid in kind of like getting up into here, into this union, and like if I wanted to be really, you know, extra comfy, bring this around to my side D. I love the way Xstatic tends too. Two of these with these thimble prusiks or whatever. This is the ring prusik. These things I always found them actually easier to just sort of keep it on the hitch side of things, because when you go to tend, here, let me run it down there. When you go to tend, it's going to tend it with it. And then if you wanted to be crazy too, you can even like push down on that prusik and it's going to feed out for you. But it just aids in when you throw your business end over a union and to retrieve it. It's just a little less BS. Sometimes you actually, if you want to, that extra weight to try and throw it up higher or get it back to you to whip it down, then definitely run this out to your carabiner end. But most of the time, 90% of the time, that just stays, it's not a nuisance really. So there's a couple of the key points that I really wanted to go over though, just kind of like, none of this is necessarily new, other than the fact that it's a kind of a closed-ended 2-in-1, because I refuse to use one of those 6-coil English prusik on a snap on my side D style 2-in-1s that just you know, yeah, that'll definitely work, but it's kind of crude. And this is really more high performance, I guess, and just really, it's clean, it works good for me. Yeah, these Shizls too, these are really cut down on the weight too. Like this is pretty light. I think actually the same weight, or it's very close to the Pinto. The Pinto is surprisingly kind of heavy for a little pulley, and so the Shizll is nice, just smooth, does what it's supposed to do, any angle you can tend. And here I'm utilizing 24-inch. I'd probably recommend going longer for hitch cord on your lanyard to offer you a little more variety in your hitches. It's very hard to find something other than like English prusiks, or maybe I think you could tie a distal or swabish. Barely. Yeah, I barely got this. This is a 3. This is a catalyst, I think, with only 3 instead of 4 wraps. That's all I could afford, but it works very well on this. And I use the same, what is this? This is Epicord. I forget if that's like Teufelberger or who makes that. I think it's Teufelberger Epicord 24. That works on Xstatic and Tritech pretty well. Oceans works on a whole myriad of ropes. That's why that's one of the best for climbing hitches and lanyards. I think it wears out faster for like if you're using it in your climbing system, but as a lanyard prusik, I believe this is a 26 or 28. A 26 is like my recommended. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. That's my recommended length. You get a little more variety. Here we got Michoacan. I like the Michoacan for climbing hitch and lanyard hitch. It's one of my favorites. But like I was saying earlier, if I want to, or just another thing that I wanted to point out was if I wanted to use this fully as basically the full length as a short DRT, which minus the length of this, the ends here, the hardware, but I can run, you know, I can run my side D setup all the way to the end to afford me that extra length if I want to, if I need to, whatever, want to / need to, and really utilize and enjoy the full, which would give me about 12, you know, roughly 12 feet of DRT descent, minus the length of this little portion here, because I'd really want to just leave it. I don't want to mess with taking it off. You know, I can in the single, which we didn't showcase that one exactly, did we? Utilizing the thimble prusik, but leaving in the single rope configuration too, you know, then you're pushing close to the 25. But granted, that's usually a temporary kind of thing when I do that SRT. But I like this option too. I won't I don't use it as often, but I like this device here. You can take a wrap to get into some positioning where, like, you know, where there is no union. And of course we can kind of dial this in, but we can dial this up to shorten it up. This is, like, I guess, you know, just a quick example of it. One way to use it with that wrap to bite it basically anywhere, just like a friction ring and ring friction saver, you know. Now I can SRT whatever, move out to a point maybe below me somewhere where maybe I'm tied in over there somewhere, and I made it over here and whatever. I just need to zip, make a couple cuts, and come back and finish, you know, like right here, send the topper doodle down and some of this stuff. And I just wanted to have that full range. That's a beautiful thing. And obviously you don't have to do the wrap, and I think 9 out of 10 times, let's just say that that's a bigger crotch, a bigger limb, and a union. This is basically how you run that. Generally is like this, kind of short, as short as you can make it without the carabiner biting on the tree real hard, and you have a much better range there. But just the wrap, I just thought that would interest some. This whole setup here, how clean it is and effective. And so far I've found that the 25-foot length is perfect, because you can really get around. We'll showcase that at the bottom. I'll get back at the bottom and show you how much you can utilize it on the bigger wood too. Pretty quick stowing it back up, and now we're relatively clean, you know. It's ready to deploy and employ. Just to help put into perspective, 25 feet. This is depending on where you're at. Here I have a Spencer loggers tape that shows diameter, or tells you diameter and of course normal length in feet. But so it's like roughly 44 to 47, you know, 44 dBH, but then down here is like 47, 48 inch diameter. So there's quite a bit of extra. But I mean, I don't know about you, but 48-inch timber, that's some beefy stuff. Usually not on a spar like that. So I got lots of mobility here, and there's still quite a bit of let's kick over to this side. There's still quite a bit of lanyard left on my bottom to bypass a limb if I'm heading up or whatever. I mean, obviously if this is a crane job and we're working the tree down, then I have more than enough. I mean, I could be on something crazy huge, some West Coast something or other, big old water buffalo sized timber. But here I'm in there, I'm nice and comfortable, need to bypass something. I got me quite a bit. It almost looks like I can bypass this here big old biscuit of a, yep. Sure enough, with extra. So lower D's to lower D, side D to side D, and here I can go up and advance. This is So that's been your ultimate positioning lanyard by Joshman. This gets you thinking. A nice creative way that's functional and effective and clean. I think pretty clean, as clean as this kind of thing can go. You know, two fully separated devices, and you got your single rope abilities, spar, choking. One thing we didn't go over though real quick is the on smaller, very small, if you're up in the top, small diameter stuff, this will be just for example here on the large stuff, but this will, the floater technique, if you utilize a carabiner in one of these thimbles, you can even get by with just a carabiner, to be honest. It definitely aid in choking, but all this does is kind of help to assist in the event. Maybe you're changing over your tying point, or just very small diameter and just kind of normal lanyard situation, you're going to slide. So the floater, utilizing this thimble or ring situation, you snug that up tight to your trunk, and when you make your move or whatever, and you're kind of bolstered in there, and then if you did gaff out, it's kind of gonna catch you way sooner than had you not had it. I've utilized that a couple times. I don't very often at all, but that's just one more handy feature that this lanyard offers. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We got some more around the corner.